Okay, let's pick a card. The Emperor. Ten of Swords. Five of Cups. Nine of Wands. Six of Cups. Don't be so rigid. I understand the feeling of caution and wanting to move slowly. But it appears that there's been an ending recently in your life, and there's a need to return to that space of emotional calm and comfort. Let's get a few more cards here. The Wheel of Fortune is here. Things have been changing. Move more from the heart. And sometimes when it comes to empathy, and it's like we get stuck sometimes in ourselves, the way that we think that things should and shouldn't be, right? The Emperor is very rigid, very bossy. But the fact is, if you are too rigid, then you also will end up inevitably with a sense of loss. The Five of Cups came out too. Like, if you're too rigid in life, you'll inevitably end up just losing and looking at the cups that were spilled and feeling that sense of weight and regret. And the only way to really have this Six of Cups energy in your life where things feel that like soft and sweet and just, we love the Six of Cups, right? Is to tap in to that King of Cups energy. And that's more of like a understanding energy, thinking with the heart, and our emotions. Sometimes things happen and we have to consciously think, because there's like the thoughts that come in first, and then we have to have a second thought about it in order to kind of soften the thought. And when you see things through a different lens, through that perspective of the heart understanding the world and its complexities, and in general, people are really, it's their first time alive for everybody, you know what I mean? And a lot of life is like things that happen to us, right? And then there's the things that, there's like what the universe gives us, and then there's our own cards that we have. There's what the cards we're dealt, then the cards we play, right? And each person has their own different hand, and each person is dealing with different kinds of situations in front of them that other people don't really ever see. But in order to get the most out of our lives, the most value from our lives, and be able to live the kind of life that we really feel good in, emotionally and physically and mentally, like where our soul just kind of feels good, you have to sometimes pay attention to yourself and how rigid you're being versus, is this a moment to now tap in and be more understanding or empathetic, And there is a difficult balance there sometimes because there's a level of being understanding and then there's a level of where do we hold the line sometimes, right? And I would say a lot of that is kind of figuring it out in the process. But you have the ability to create the structure in your life and the life that you desire completely. With the Four of Wands here, maybe accept that you don't know all things, and then that's where you can start to create systems for new things as they happen. Everything is just creating structure, you know? Structure, systems, and managing those systems and structures.